Today I'm going to be sharing how to write a perfect SOP to get into your dream university. And this is the same SOP that I used for getting into my dream university, which is one of the UK's top ranking university. So you need to understand what is a basic difference between the statement of purpose and a personal statement. So the statement of purpose is a key element that allows and conveys your background, your academic interest, your professional background, and who you are as a person, and why exactly you are choosing this particular course and this university to the academic council. So SOP offers a snapshot of your character, your achievements, your career aspirations, and also your academic interest and how you are seeing yourself down the line after learning or completing this course. Whereas a personal statement is more broad in scope. Here you are going to convey your personal experiences, your personal background, and also your extracurricular activities, your personal interest. So it has a more personal touch to it. So now that you know the main difference between the SOP and a personal statement, let us dive deep on how to prepare a perfect SOP. I understand that SOP writing is a tedious and a terrifying process, and in this video we are going to cover everything that you need to write a perfect SOP. And this is based on my experience and my research that I have used to get and secure an admission in a UK's top tier university. So hope it is helpful for you. So first is to set yourself a preparation time where you're going to brainstorm for more ideas. So here you can list out all the achievements, your credentials, your academic interest, your passion, everything into a list, and then try to start developing more ideas regarding it. So in this section, I will write down my academic interest, my professional background, any achievements in teamwork that I have done in my professional background. And if there is no professional background available, I would keep my research experience, my volunteering experience, my internship experience that I want to share it with the reader. Here also, I would include my extracurricular activities and also various other interests that I have developed outside of my academic interests. Also, you need to remember that this is to be a very selective process and you have to curate these experiences which would seem relevant to the course and the program that you are applying for. Additionally, you can also list down your achievements in a quantifiable way. This is a very easy and simple task. If you were working in a project team, you can say that through your project and through your inputs, your company was able to save X dollars. So these are the type of examples that help you quantify your achievements. Second step is to categorize the information about what goes into your CV, what goes into your SOP, and what should go into your personal statement. Like I mentioned, most of the UK universities may sometimes ask for all three of them, but luckily for me, it was just SOP and CV. You need to make sure that you are giving respective information in all the other documents, and you don't want to repeat everything. So it would basically be the university reading the same thing 3 times. So to avoid that, we can use this simple exercise on categorizing what goes into your CV, what goes into your SOP, and what should go into your personal statement. Once you're done with this exercise, you can start writing your outline. But make sure when you start writing, continue to write and do not stop to reread the paragraphs that you have written. This allows you to continue your flow of thoughts and complete the entire section in one go. If you stop to reread what you have written, you would try to find out if there are any mistakes, and also this creates a writer's block. So one of my top tips would be to stop reading what you have written and continue writing till the end. And once you have inputted everything that you have mentioned in the previous section, stop and then go back for a reread. The first step is, how do you want to be introduced? So when you are writing this section, you have to keep a reader's perspective in mind. So if the reader is to read your SOP, they have to see yourself as a person that you really are. So bringing out genuinity and also making sure that you are standing out with your experience and with your examples will make sure to catch an eye of the reader. So here you have to start with something like a quote with a simple example or a small incident that happened in your life that sparked that interest or a passion that made you take this field of study or made you choose a career that you really wanted to. Most of the times we tend to start with, it was my childhood dream to study in this college. This is a very cliche and it has been used numerous times. So we should try to avoid this sentence. Instead, coming up with examples like, It was this incident in my life that as a teenager, there was this teacher who instilled a passion in my mind about mathematics or physics that helped me take engineering for my undergraduate, and thereby I have been able to develop my interest further, and I want to move for my masters in the same area. So you are trying to set a story here. If we were to suppose the entire SOP to be 100%, for my introduction, I would contribute and would set apart 4% of it. It is not a very prescriptive rule, but 4% in and around is good for an introduction. So thereby you are not giving too much of personal information, but also sticking to a normal introduction that would catch the reader's eye. Second is, what did you do previously? So here you have to talk about what you studied in your previous academics, your academic interest, your professional background, which kind of team were you working in, if you have any relevant project experience or internship experience or volunteering experience, anything for that matter, everything can be shared here. So for this section, I would contribute somewhere around 40%, and starting with academic interest, including relevant courseworks or the my favorite subjects that I had learned. Also from my professional background, I would talk about these were the teams that I worked with, and the skills that I developed during working on this project was something that I really enjoy. I want to carry it forward. So that has helped me prepare myself for the next steps in my career. You can also include your relevant internship experiences, and also if you have any research experiences, it is a good place to include it in here. You can talk about the kind of project that you worked on, and if there was any external researchers were included or internal researchers you worked with, and also if the paper was published or if it was presented in a conference or a seminar, you can include that as well. Additionally, it is also important to include your extracurricular activities if you have any. This will also bring out a kind of different perspective and also will help the reader know more about you. And it is not like you are talking all about academics and professions, but also something personal but which is relevant to the topic as well. Remember, in this section, it is mainly for projecting your academic and professional interests and how it has prepared you for this program or the course at this particular university. The third section is, why are you interested in studying this particular program or course? So this is the most crucial area which is very important for the admissions panel, and where they are trying to find out what is your real passion for studying this course and how you see yourself benefiting from studying this course. So it is very important to do your thorough research before starting to write this section. So first is to research about the program or the course. You have to know completely well about what the course is offering, what are the modules. You can also go through the websites, the course descriptions, also connect with the professors in LinkedIn and talk to them and ask them that is a burning question in your mind and get it answered before writing this section. Also highlight the program's strength. While doing your research, you are sure to come across the various opportunities that the course is offering. There could be some kind of industry agreements where you can do internship with an industry, and also research facilities and world-class faculty members. All of this may be available, but this will only be available to you if you do a proper research before writing this section. Third is to use specific examples here. Make sure that you are bringing some kind of transferable example, like from your academic or a professional background, that you see relevant to this section and you can use it here. So bringing out a specific example and showing enthusiasm and passion is something that will set you apart. Now, fourth is, which is related to the previous one, why you want to study in this college. While you are doing research about the coursework, you also want to research about this college, the university. Here you have to understand why this college is the top ranking one, and why the facilities and faculties are top ranked, if the research facility is well, and if there is a prime location that you are attracted to, and everything that you have found well about the college needs to be explained here. If you're a person who is trying to study a computer science related course or a pharmacy related course, and that particular university has a higher ranking in that course, it is something that you need to point out. So it will make sure that you know well about the course, and you also know how it is going to benefit you in your career. So this is something that you have to tie tie together, and this will make your SOP stand out. Before moving to the next section, here is a top tip that I wanted to share with you. Make sure to connect why you want to study this course and why you want to study this course at this particular university very closely and sound very passionate. Make sure to contribute somewhere around 45 to 50% of your entire SOP concentrating in this section, and this will be closely monitored by the admissions panel. The next very important section is why are you interested in studying this course in this country? So before moving on to this section, you also have to research a lot about the country and its culture. I would roughly contribute around 5 to 7% to this section. It is important to do research about the country, its cultures, and what type of multi-diverse population lives there and how it will be beneficial for you. Also, it is important to be very mindful of the language and using appropriate language while introducing this topic in your SOP. You have to keep in mind about avoiding any stereotypes, also using the right language, and also being very inclusive with your language that you're using while writing this section. So for example, in my case, I wrote that I wanted to study this course in UK because UK is renowned for a world-class education, also reputed for its academic excellence. I also talked about how being with a multicultural and a diverse population is something that I wanted to do in my masters, and it is going to help me open my eyes and also experience a wide range of culture during my masters. So these were the points that I included in my SOP in this section. So coming to the last section, that is nearly your summary. Instead of writing summary, here is what you can do. You can include what is your post-study work plan. In this section, you can summarize everything that you have detailed before. It could be about the course, the university, as well as the country, and also make sure that you include where you see yourself after studying this course, and also the benefits that you see from getting from studying at this university. This is a place where you want to discuss your long-term career goals after completion of this course. So elaborate on how you see yourself getting all the skills and all the knowledge that you seem important to progress in your career. So this will help you to summarize everything, as in why you are coming to this course, this program in this country or this university. So everything you will be able to connect together and tie everything in a very clear format. So before moving on to the next step, here are some top tips that I want you to consider. First is bring out your true personality. While you are writing this SOP, you want to make sure that you are talking to a person who is miles away from you, is sitting in a different country and reading your SOP, who is completely unaware about your existence and your credentials. So making sure that your personality stands out and you are being very genuine with your interest and passion is a very top tip. Plain English language is a way to go. Please do not try to thesaurus every word that you have included in your SOP, and this will not create a good impression from the reader or the academic panel. SOP is not a way to test your vocabulary, but it is just to see how interested you are in studying this course and at this university. If you're watching this video or any other videos and doing your research, this point may not be applicable for you, but please make sure that you are writing your own SOP. But I understand that this is a very tedious process and it is a very terrifying process, and there are chances of falling back. But please do not fall back. Do your own research. Please continue writing your draft, and at the end there are options to revise it, to refine it, sticking to the word limit, which is very important. And in this video, I am not going to share any precise or approximate number of words that you need to stick to, because it is very much dependent upon the university that you are trying to apply to. So after this episode, I want you to go and check in your university portals and see what's the word limit that is mentioned by your college and try to stick to it. So I'm not going to give you an approximate number, but I'm here to remind you to stick to the word limit after you are done with your draft. The final step, that is the cleaning of the draft. So as much as you have written your experience, your interest, and everything is there on the paper right there, it is very important to do a proofreading and refining the language. So sometimes that many people have lost their admissions because they have forgotten either to change the grammar or the spelling mistakes, maybe they're in their own name or in a professor's name that they are addressing who is there in that university. So make sure that you're proofreading. So as I have mentioned, you will have ample time to complete your draft and also read it multiple times if you are giving yourself a lot of time for preparation and reading your draft. Make sure to read it aloud and also to look for any grammatical or any spelling mistakes that may be there in the draft. Also, you can share it with your family members, your relatives, and someone who is very academically sound, who will be able to point out what are the mistakes in your SOP. Here I would like to shout out to one of my husband's friend who proofread the entire SOP for me twice. So because of which I was very confident to submit my application. Well, also one of the important tips, when you are refining your SOP, make sure that you are sounding very clear and it is very simple to understand. It is a way to go because a simple and a very well structured SOP will give you a good chance of clearing the admission process. So ultimately, the goal of the SOP is to share your real passion and what you are bringing to the table and what you expect to see after the completion of the course. It should not replicate what you have already mentioned in the resume and should neither be similar to your personal statement. SOP on its own is a different kind of document which can help you secure your admission. So by following these simple tips and tricks that I have mentioned before and also making yourself sound very genuinely passionate about the course and the university, there are very good chances of securing your admission. So I hope this video was very useful for you. I wish you all the very best in your admission process and I hope that you get into your dream university soon.